Have you ever felt that everyone has it all figured out, but you're just lost? That was me when I was a full-time content creator. Hi, my name is Evelyn, and I want to share my journey with you not just because it's my journey, but also because I think it'll help you make your own major life decisions. So why should you listen to me? I've been a content creator for the past 3 years. First as a hobby, then as part-time, then as a full-time gig where I earned 5 times my current corporate salary. I was living what most people would consider the dream life, working with huge skincare and beauty brands, but I really felt stuck because what am I doing this for? I didn't really feel that I had a purpose, and I felt so demotivated, even though on the surface it seems like everything is going great. That's one of the reasons I chose to leave it all behind. I left the country I lived in for over 12 years, and I moved back to my home country where I only knew 4 people, which are just my grandparents, my aunts, and my brother. It was definitely a fresh start, and I'm not quite sure yet if it was the right choice, but it got me moving. These codes really helped me feel unstuck and get a move on with my life. But I don't just want to share words with you. I want to help you actually put into action, which is why each code comes with an actionable tip or step that you can take today. So let's get into the quotes. The cost of your procrastination is the life you could have lived. I still remember the first time I read this quote, and it hit me so hard. I literally screenshotted it and I sent it to 5 people, and I was like, wow, holy shit. There are so many things I procrastinate, and I feel like probably 80% of the population also struggles with procrastination. But it just hits so hard to think about the life that I want, I can have it, but maybe I'm the one holding myself back. Realizing that procrastination wasn't just wasting my time, but actually stealing my future, that's freaking scary. So what can you do? Here are 2 actionable tips. The first one is to pick one task you've been procrastinating on. For example, maybe it's getting your bank details in order, updating your LinkedIn, signing up for a course, or building a fitness habit. Definitely guilty of that one. Start with one action you can do in less than 2 minutes that aligns with that goal. For example, if you've been procrastinating on jogging in the morning, your first less than 2-minute action can just be tying your shoelaces. If it's reading a book, open the book. Find the book. The second actionable tip is kind of the inverse. Pick something that you use to procrastinate, for example, doom scrolling, binging a Netflix show, and keep track of it. Literally, every time you realize, oh, I'm procrastinating by doom scrolling, take note of what time it is and keep track of how long you spend doing it. It will surprise you so much. I started doing this and I realized that over 8 hours a week I spend just scrolling on Instagram Reels and TikTok, which is terrible. 8 hours is like a full working day. I can get so much things done in 8 hours if I hadn't just procrastinated. And almost all the things you procrastinate doing, like doom scrolling or watching a TV show, you do it because you think it's relaxing, but you're not relaxing. When you're doing those things, your brain is still working overtime. It's still processing all these images and it's still making you tired. So if you want to really rest, take a nap. Literally take a nap. Do this for a few days, take notes of how much time you're spending, and I think it'll really open your eyes to how much time you're wasting and taking for granted. What you're not changing, you're also choosing. This is true for everything, right? So if you're always thinking, my life is hard because of so-and-so, but you're not actively changing the so-and-so, then you're actually choosing it. An actionable tip is to reflect. Ask yourself, what areas do you feel stuck? And then ask yourself, what am I choosing by not changing the situation? Seeing it on paper can really give you clarity and the motivation to take action. For example, I felt stuck as a full-time content creator because I felt like all I was doing was just for superficial things like views and even money to an extent. And I realized that by not changing the situation of how I earn my income, I'm choosing to still feel like I'm being superficial online, and I'm not being my genuine and authentic self online. Staying in the same place, being in the same position as a full-time content creator, that's my choice. I was not yet actively seeking out new experiences or pushing myself to grow in discomfort. And so, because I didn't change it, I was choosing to stay and feel that way. By the way, this is going to be part of a 4-video series where each video covers a topic that I've personally struggled with and I've personally overcome, like not having the confidence to go after what I want. So I'll be able to share some real and valuable insights with you. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. I'm sorry, it's so cliche. I'm sure you've probably heard it. I feel like this is the mainstream cliche-ist quote, but we have to talk about it, right? Basically, everything you want, everything that's like what you think is years and years ahead, it all begins with a single step. To get the ball there, you have to first get the ball rolling, right? So for me, when I first decided to leave this dream job of being a full-time content creator, I was like overthinking everything. Like, how would I move everything? How would I clean up my whole house? And like, do I have to sell the apartment that I was living in Malaysia? How would I say goodbye to all my friends, my boyfriend? How would I do all of that, right? But after talking to my parents, I'm so incredibly grateful for my very supportive and understanding and good at listening parents. They just advised me to take it one step at a time because that's all I need to do. Just put one step forward. So this is the actionable tip. Identify your first step. What is one small action that you can take today that will take you one step closer to your goal? If your goal is to start a successful side hustle, that first step could just be brainstorming ideas or setting up a free website. Second, commit to daily micro steps, right? So this is kind of in the realm of building systems. Instead of focusing on the long journey ahead, commit to spending 10 to 15 minutes daily on a small task. I would recommend 30 minutes. Like, if you dedicate 30 minutes of your time every day towards your goal, you will definitely reach it. Like, that's a no-brainer. And because over time, small steps compound to big results. And lastly, track progress, not perfection. Keep a journal or checklist or like a habit tracker to see what are the things that you are getting done. And also to see how far you've come, which will hopefully motivate you to keep going. This fourth quote is basically like a sub-quote from the one just now, but it's focus on the step in front of you, not the whole staircase. It's easy to get so overwhelmed when you're thinking about the whole big picture and what your huge life goal is, but really just focus on the step in front of you because that's the needed action you need to take. Of course, you do have to have some foresight to see like if you have an end goal, like a deadline, how to reach that end goal. But focusing on the first step, that's literally the first step. I've said step like 4 times, but it's okay. Actionable tips would be breaking it down, like write down your goal, divide it into bite-sized pieces, and divide and conquer. For example, if your goal is to find a job, do your resume before worrying about networking or interviews. One step at a time. Stay present, don't overthink too much in the future, and also celebrate your wins. There are so many ways of celebrating wins. I'm going to give you a list because I love celebrating. Celebrating is great. You can enjoy your favorite snack or dessert. Take a break to do something you enjoy, like watch a movie guilt-free or play a game guilt-free. Buy yourself a small gift like a candle or a plant for your desk, or maybe even something to keep you motivated and that will help you in your progress. Like if you're thinking about journaling daily, buy a journal or some cute pens, you know? Also, you can have a yes day, like a day where you say yes to everything that you want to do. You can even take a mini trip to celebrate. It was like a really big accomplishment. Like maybe once I hit 3K subscribers on YouTube, I'm going to take a trip to Bali, for example, or like the Netherlands, I don't know. Or it can be something much smaller and simpler, like having a mini dance party. This sounds a bit silly, and I feel like maybe it's a bit simple as well, but put on your favorite song, get excited, and dance around for like 30 minutes and you'll feel great. It's a great way to celebrate and to physically just move your body around. It feels really nice. And finally, the last quote. A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. Not gonna lie, that's low-key a tongue twister. But basically what it means is that people grow and develop skills through challenging times. You cannot develop practical problem-solving skills and abilities if you've never felt difficult situations before. So in a way, it's telling you to be grateful for all these obstacles or hard instances that you're faced with, because these will make you so much stronger than you could have ever imagined. During my career and like life change, there were weeks and days where I completely lost it, like literally crying for hours, crying on the plane, crying on cars. I don't know why I cry a lot on commute, but a lot of crying, and I felt so upset and I was like so scared for the future. But looking back, every challenge helped me become a bit stronger, a bit more adaptable, and it really helped me grow as a person. The actionable tip behind this is, instead of avoiding challenges, lean into them. Ask yourself, what is this teaching me? Write down one skill or lesson that you're learning along the way, and really encourage yourself to go through it. I hope this video gave you some clarity and inspiration, and these quotes resonated with you as much as they did with me. If you're feeling stuck, just remember, it's okay not to have it all figured out, but every small step takes you closer to the life you want to live. I would love to hear which quote hit you the hardest or which step you want to take next. Or even, what are you feeling stuck about right now? Like, where do you feel directionless? If this video resonated with you, trust me, you will love the others. At least I hope you do. So I'll see you next time. Bye!